accept this proposal? 10 minutes, raise your hands.
2 minutes is what? 10 minutes for
10
what?
minutes.
10 minutes
For
for
rapid.
rapid.
For rapid,
For
yes.
rapid.
The proposal,
The way
as
it's
here.
there.
Who's against? Who likes?
8?
Okay.
So many people again?
No, okay, so there are two questions, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately, some people are voting against it because they don't want it to go from 15 to 10, and there are other people voting against it because they want 10 to go to Blitz. So we need to separate those two out,
No,
otherwise we'll get...
I'd like to ask you, this 10 minutes should be changed to 15. This is the proposal as this here.
Okay,
I
that's
understand
it.
your point,
That's it.
but first of all I'd like to know, and then we can discuss later, if at least or more than, or less than.
So,
Okay, I repeat. 10 minutes for rabbit. Who's in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who prefers 15?
very close, isn't
Commission? 10?
Rapid.
Okay, for rabbit.
That's fine, but we're taking that question
Rabbit,
first.
okay.
It's going to be a subsequent
Okay,
decision.
it will be 10 minutes here, and now we can discuss
More or less.
less,
Exactly.
less than 10
Yeah.
or at least 10. Who is in favor? Is the proposal is at least? Everybody. At
Already
least.
voted.
Can't you say blitz or rapid? Just
No.
we put exactly 10.
To keep at least, it means 10 minutes is in the proposal a rapid game. 10 minutes a rapid. Who's against? Okay. Commission to keep at least 10 minutes. In 10 minutes a rapid. Less than 10 minutes. Means 10 minutes is, sorry, less than 10 minutes is
More than
blitz.
10, more
Who's in
than
favor
10.
with this? Okay, let me keep it as it's written now. Thank you. A2 is not be changed. Okay, one remark I like to make. You know, before we had written in A4 one supervision is adequate or inadequate. Now I got a letter from Bartek Maciej that some organizers didn't like that it was written that the supervision in that tournament was not adequate. Okay, I quote, and this is why we changed simply, in fact it is the same now, where one arbiter supervised more than 3 games, it is inadequate. Okay, no change at all.
There is a change, it's a clarification. In a particular round of a competition.
No, this is, there are 2 points.
Well,
This
is in.
No. First of all, I explained only well once arbiter supervised more than 3 games. Now we come to
Okay.
the next point.
Okay.
Not at most.
This was only an explanation. The next point is something else. You know, uh,
Says in notes.
it is possible.
It's gone away from E3.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, at most.
If it's clear at most.
What's
No,
not
no.
clear about
Okay.
that?
Okay.
Okay. You know, I can imagine that there will be a situation that you have not so many arbiters, and then sometimes you can do the following. You have, for instance, 5 games, and you have 2 arbiters, and 3 games are finished, and then you can put these 2 arbiters to each game. But it should mean that, in fact, you change also the rules.
Yeah.
And this is why we write here, if we have a situation that you start with inadequate supervision, it shall be until the end of the game. Not
Yeah.
during the game, change of the regulations. This is meaning from the start of play in a particular round of a competition, we keep it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just have one question. When you say in A3 the competition rules shall apply, but with the exception of A2, or?
A2, and, yeah,
No, I just want that
that's a
clarification.
competition rule.
Yeah.
You know, what he's saying.
No, but the competition rule says that you have to write down your moves. So what?
Not in rapid play.
No, but it says if you're going to follow the competition rules, that includes recording the moves. And if you have
And
the...
it also includes not recording the moves. Come on.
A2 is written already. Players do not need to record the moves. It's written.
Yes.
It's
Past competition rules.
It's clear, it's clear. Fair enough.
Okay, I didn't think it was that clear.
I agree.
So you'd prefer it to say
Now, because in A4 you have an
Appendix
except
A.
where.
Appendix A shall apply.
It's absolutely.
No, I'm sorry, got it wrong.
Yeah.
Appendix
Or
A
do-
shall not apply.
No, I understand the point. Probably you prefer, no.
You confused me.
No.
No, I got myself confused about this.
Okay, well, what I'm meaning, I mean, if I may explain, as A3, if you just read it, it says that if an arbiter has maximum 3 games, you follow the competition rules.
Except-
Competition rules says that you have to write down your moves. So I just wanted to clarify that the competition rules, but with the exception of A2.
It should be
Still
included in
eligible.
A4.
But that's the reason why A2 is before A3 and A4. This is clear that you have not to record the moves, and then the other rules.
Yes, this is true as well.
No, but then in
Same as
A4
okay.
you have the except where they are overridden, but you don't have that in A3, so.
In my opinion, A2 is a general rule for a rapid game.
And blitz game.
General.
And blitz game together.
Okay. Later.
If you wanted to say
Perhaps
when...
competition and competitions not so clear. In a particular round of a competition, the competition rules of law shall apply.
If it's wanted, where one arbiter supervising most 3 games, in a particular round of competition, the competition rules shall apply with the exception of A2. That would be what you want.
Twice.
Yes, that's the clarification.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's no, I don't think we have a problem with that.
But Mr. Chairman, just
No,
one
please.
small remark. You know, why it is concerned three games? You know, it is not equal condition for all games in the event. It is just you select 3 games. Doesn't matter from the beginning or from the, or the last, regarding the last move. If it is 3 games taken from, let's say, 15 games, and supervised by a special arbiter, it is not equal condition for the event.
We realise that.
I know.
And that's
But
why-
it
and we
cannot
know
be. It cannot be just put here because it's against the tournament rules and against other regulations.
No.
You know,
The
it
idea-
cannot be. You know, it is. It must be for all the participants in the event the same condition from the beginning to the end of the round.
It is a
If you,
problem.
but this is selection. Let's 3 games in one round, 3 games in other round, and so on.
Let me explain. If it's a knockout competition, there are fewer competitors. So you have a big knockout competition with 128 players, and you do not. I'll try 127 players. And someone I can divide by 3. 128 players is 40. Sorry, 40. Yes.
43.
43 arbiters I would need. But I only have 4 arbiters, perhaps. When it gets to that stage of the knockout competition, then it can apply. And this is perfectly normal and applies in the World Championship at the moment.
I agree, but it is not concerned, but it is not written here. It concerns all the events. It is not just knockout system where the final, semi-final, or something like this is limited number of games. But this is written for all. It can be understood for all the competitions. Just selected 3 games.
Mr. Chairman, can I speak to that? I think what the gentleman is saying is it should be a ratio question. As written, it can be interpreted that you could put an arbiter on the top three boards and then
one
classify.
arbiter for the ratio.
And then it should be, it should mention a ratio of 1 to 3 rather than the wording as written. Is that what you mean, sir?
Yeah. You know, if left 3 games, okay. But if they started with 15 games and then must play in the same condition.
But it mentioned you should take it in a particular round. Maybe one round has not enough.
No,
But in the particular round, what are you usually saying?
No, it's not that.
Because in particular round, maybe at round 5,
Interpretation will be different in many events.
Okay, what is your proposal? What
Just to
are-
cancel in particular round, for instance.
And what do you prefer in the event?
Just in the event.
Does it mean if you have for instance, a knockout tournament that even in the final, when you have only one game, it should be played like it's possible in the first round?
We discussed this knockout system regarding the World Championship.
Yes.
It completely different rules specified in the World Championship site regulation.
Yeah.
It is very clearly written that for each game must be an arbiter. So everything is clear. Also the same is for the Blitz and Rapid World Championship. The same is written.
Yeah.
One arbiter for one game.
Okay.
So, but from this 8.3 we can understand it is useful for all the competitions.
Oh, no. If you have one arbiter for each game, it is perfectly because you have not more than 3 games per arbiter.
Yes,
This
it's
is
true.
prima. Excellent. I don't see any
No,
problem.
what Andre is saying, at the beginning of the tournament you're playing, then you're playing to the 8-4, because you only had, we'll say, one arbiter, and there's 8 games, and then later on, it gets as an arbiter comes into the playing hall, you find another 2 arbiters come in, you say to them, please help. And so now you say, it must still continue to be the way it was in the first round.
Here we go.
I have just a simple suggestion. A3, where each arbiter supervises most of the game from the start of playing a particular round of competition, where each arbiter, not just one, each.
Yeah.
Or me.
That's
any
no
arbiter.
difference in the English. That's English.
Each is a better word.
Each is a better word, I think.
No, but there is a difference actually. I mean, if you have a round, say, with 10 boards, you have 2 arbiters. You have arbiter 1 for boards 1 to 3, and arbiter 2 for boards 4 to 10.
Yeah.
Does that mean that 1 to 3 and 4 to 10 follow different rules?
Yes, this is
Read
right.
what it says, and it doesn't. It says in a particular round of a competition. It doesn't say in particular games in the round of a competition.
Okay, that's the clarification I think we were asking for.
No, that was not what Andre was asking for.
Mr. Chairman, if I can recall correctly, the reason the wording has now arrived where it was because of exactly the objection to the definition of inadequate supervision. Previously, it did define a ratio of 1 arbiter per 3 games as adequate supervision, and then there was obviously complaints, and we fixed it. If we do define that ratio, unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily take away Andre's objection, though, because you could have 3 enough arbiters, 1 for 3 games, but the organiser might say, you look after 1 game, you look after 1 game, you look after 1 game, and the other arbiter looks after 8 games. So even having a simple ratio doesn't solve this problem against an organiser determined to not use their common sense.
Our main aim was that during the game, you cannot change the rules, going from inadequate to adequate supervision. This was the aim of A3. Nothing else, no? Igor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I made 2 proposals, but may not be here. The first one is to start with according to the tournament regulation of the event. That means the presence of, let's say, a lot of arbiters, even 10 arbiters for one game, doesn't mean supervision automatically. It should be mentioned before. I am, as a player, when I enter the event, I should understand the rule which I use in spite of number of arbiters which are supervised or not supervised. That's one thing. And the second, is it possible even theoretically, for example, a round robin, a rapid game, 20 plays, it's okay. 2 days possible to 3. In one round, there is a seminar of arbiters, and I invite 50 arbiters for concrete round, and they just to see how they can sign the moves. That's for practice. Doesn't mean that round 5 of round robin tournament should be held basing on another rules. To my mind, every competition should have the same rules from starting till the end, in spite of the number which are present. And I, as a player, shouldn't try to guess how many arbiters are there in the hall. Thank you.
Yeah, but there is no problem if in the tournament regulation for a specific tournament they announce that after round 3 will be enough arbiter, and after round 3 you have this regulation and competition rule will be applied. After round 3 for everybody, they know if they go to round 3 then they have 1 arbiter or 2 arbiter, I don't know how many for the. It's no problem if it's announcing before.
But maybe the wording here is not good, you know, because I see the possibility of different interpretation of
Yes. It should be announced beforehand.
There's two things, isn't there? One, we could single out knockout competitions separately, if that's preferred by the meeting. The other one is Andre's point that he disagrees with the rule because he thinks it should be the same throughout the competition, even if it's a knockout competition. Yes? So surely we can reach an agreement. Do we want it to be the same rules throughout every round of competition? If we do, then we can change this to where one arbiter supervises at most 3 games. Yes. From the start of play, the competition shall apply. Okay. We don't even need from the start of play.
Of course. Yes.
No, we can. There's no of course, because we're not necessarily agreeing about this. So, if that's what's wanted, then we can surely find out the opinion of people about that. I personally disagree with it. That's okay. I have no problem if that's what most people want.
Can I just throw a spanner in the works here? I'm a bit concerned where you've got a reasonable number of arbiters, but not sufficient. However, on the Sunday morning round 1, because of the number of buys, with the word shall in there, you're going to have to change the rules from one round of the tournament.
The administrator of the event could have 1,000 arbiters present and rule that one arbiter is not supervising at most 3 games. Because they happen to be present in the room doesn't mean to say they have to be used.
I'm sorry, can I ask you just, it's not about this matter, but it's 1 o'clock, how will we do?
Could we try to finish by 1, this particular point,
but
before we go on?
Yeah, just asking.
And when shall we discuss Blitz?
That will probably clarify Blitz. The same rule.
No, it's...
We can stay more than 1 hour. I every day come by taxi and pay for myself. So,
all right,
who is ready to continue?
I'm going to suggest what I think is Andre's proposal. It's not my proposal. Where one arbiter supervises at most 3 games from the start of play, the competition rules shall apply.
Yeah.
It was
from the start of the tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll say it again because I got it wrong. Where one player supervises at most 3 games from the start of the tournament, the competition rules shall apply.
Change one to each, please, just to keep the ratio.
Where each arbiter supervises at most 3 games. Do you want that? Okay, I can accept it. If and Andre can accept it, where each arbiter supervises at most 3 games.
But also,
okay, that is Andre's proposal. Surely we can vote on that and find out what people want. And then we can further refine it after that. Is that okay by you? Because it's just going on and on and on.
Yeah. Okay, let us vote. Klaus.
If this is the position of Anshe, I want to make a compromise. Would you be happy with this wording if you make exception for knockout system,
No, we can go
knockout
on to
tournaments,
that
and for tie-break
we can
rounds?
go on to that after.
No, this is obvious.
No, it's not.
What do you mean? What's option?
No, it is obvious that, you know, if you have tie-break system, there is a new kind of arbitration. You know, you can appoint 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. You know, if as many as you wish. I had the same situation. You know, in the World Women Championship in Yekaterinburg, 2006, when I had to find from the spectators arbiters to help to solve to write the moves in the many tie-break games. It is obvious that for tie-break games is some other rules.
It's not the same competition.
It is the same competition, but this is just additional something, you know.
additional difficulty.
Yeah.
But this,
I'm just going to be quick. Maybe we can solve this problem by changing the word round to phase.
Sorry?
Phase. Use the word phase instead of round, because when in the different phases of the competition.
It won't solve Andre's.
Okay.
Can I say it again? Where each arbiter supervises at most 3 games from the start of the competition rules shall apply. I think.
From the start of the event.
I know we've got competition twice. I realise that, but we can straighten that out. Can we not vote on that?
yes. There was another proposal.
Okay, we can vote on it, please, no.
Why please no?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Can we vote on whether we
there are only
can
5 words, where according to tournament regulation of the event, and then follow your sentence. What's the problem?
Because people don't read the tournament regulations.
Simply, let us vote. We have 2 proposals from the start of the tournament or from the start of play in a specific round. Who is in favor to put tournament? Raise your hands. It means you in the whole tournament, you have the same rule. Even if you have 1 game, you will play according to, let's say, we have 1 arbiter for more than 3 games. It's possible. Who? I'm not in favor that way. Okay, who likes in a particular round? Is written? Commission, tournament. Who's in favor for the whole tournament? 1, 2, 3. In favor for particular round? It's 4.
Okay.
Interesting.
Ashok is not clear.
This is true. He hasn't heard the discussion, which is a very valuable discussion.
But we do still change 1 to each, or?
Yeah, we can change 1 to each. And we've got the word competition twice. We should have, that's not nice in a given sentence, but we can correct that. But, wait a minute.
It should be specified in the competition, in the rules of the competition, that from a certain round they will play according to different rules.
Yes.
It means that say they play round 1 until 4 according to in at the card, and from round 5 to round 7 or 8 is adequate supervision. Yeah.
For the competition, maybe we can write, in particular around the competition, the following article A4 do not apply, doesn't apply, and then we start at the article 4 without the, because it is, this is exactly what happens. That, there is the article, I mean, either you apply the competition rule or article what is written in article A4. So you just to specify that the article A4 do not apply, and then we have.
Can you communicate that to the small committee?
Yes.
The point of Anil Surrender that A3 the competition rules can apply. You could add except article 8.1.
Yes.
Except at article 8.1.
Oh, 8.1.
Yes. That's what we're calling
Yeah,
it.
it is right.
8.2.
No, A. You say A. He said
8.1. It means you like to delete
Are you going to
article.
try and have-
Sorry, you like to delete A2?
No,
Of course.
To mention it once more.
to mention it, you say the competition rules shall apply, except 8.1 of the competition rules.
But why? We are just not.
Why are we
excluding
still
what
having
we are
about
writing
discussing
down?
about whether we're going to meet again?
Well, it's
When
for the
half the
commission.
people have already left.
But more important, the commission members still stay here.
Yes. Only out of politeness.
At any time you want.
The day of the
Any proposal? Sean, you have to make the pairings this night.
Not at the moment.
Not at the
From
moment.
5 to 7
5 to 7, it's fine for me.
This evening.
Wait a minute.
in a
Aren't
tournament hall.
But tomorrow's executive board or you?
Tomorrow executive board.
Tomorrow morning, Swiss Bearings are having another meeting from 11 till 1.
I have a
9,
meeting
11.
till, I've got a 4-hour meeting today, from 3 to 7.
Is the executive board
Oh,
tomorrow?
you said from 7 to 9.
5 to 7.
No, I've got a meeting.
We have QC, don't we?
QC
Yes.
this afternoon.
QC is from
7 to 9, Mr. Hayes.
Oh, please, it's from 3 to 7.
No. He's suggesting we meet at
I mean, we can meet.
We can meet from 7 to 9.
Yes.
To 9, not to 9.
No, because we will be
No,
here.
I'm afraid that the field office will be angry with me because they have to copy everything. Because tomorrow it is president executive board.
They can wait for that.
I can't meet you
Just
there.
after from 2. I have no problem. We're not
It's
at
allowed
2
to
o'clock,
be deleted,
just now.
to be delayed.
Until we
I'm content, perfectly prepared to continue for another hour and then eat here. I don't even have to eat.
Okay.
We're not sure. But is the bus upstairs?
Bus is leaving at 1 o'clock to all hotels, the shuttle bus. I was just going to ask you, are you going to continue maybe, or?
That's
Yeah,
what
but
we're
we-
discussing
we are
now.
just discussing.
Can
We're going
you
to spend an
shuttle.
hour discussing that.
So the shuttle buses are leaving at 1 o'clock.
We understand.
But left already, probably.
No, usually it isn't later.
They should be.
Anybody
I
who
will be
needs-
outside just
Is
on
it possible that when the commission members have lunch here? Is it
I
possible?
have to be at the toilet hall.
So there's no doubt.
You have also to be explained.
I got some.
Maybe I will add some more snacks, you know?
Better with cheese.
I'm not going to
Call
be
it
in
cheese.
What time?
Nice.
1:30. You have to be there.
I'll stay there at 1:15.
1:15.
1:15.
Yes.
I'm
I'm supposed
waiting
to
for
be
your
at the
decision.
toilet hall 1:15. Our bus leaves at 1 o'clock.
1:15?
You better get a move
2
on.
o'clock.
Well,
It's 15
I'll be
minutes
late,
to
that's
get
all.
there.
Do you mean 2:50?
No, 1:15.
No, I mean
1:15.
1:15. I'm supposed to be there at 1:15. My bus leaves at 1 o'clock from my hotel.
But it's for players.
No, but the deputy chief arbiter, I'm supposed to be there at 1:15. He also is supposed to be there at 1:15.
Driving you mad.
I know the event starts at 3.
We won't discuss this anymore. People who have to go should go.
I
don't mind coming tomorrow, but I...
No, please, what I just said.
It has to be done today because it's going to the executive board tomorrow.
Please make a
It
decision.
doesn't have to. Okay, the people who have to go should now go. And then we'll see the people who are remaining.